What's up, race fans? We're back with another AC crit. So here we are. We're starting off. It's a hot day. We're at the start-finish line right here, obviously, because that's where we started from. Orient you to the layout here, all the way to the left. It is 30-second average power. And we have obviously just straight up instant power. Above that, you have a guy riding a bike. He kind of shows you where you are relevance to the finish line. And then on the right, you have the course layout. So it's a 4-corner course. Really, it's kind of like three and a half. That corner up there on top, corner number 2, doesn't really count. So you have cadence and you have speed in miles per hour. I don't know how to change it to speed in kilometers per hour. It's just weird because everything I use is in kilometers per hour. Oh well. Anyways, so we're on the back stretch right now. Things are starting very slow, 21 miles an hour. Look at the flags on the left-hand side. You can see we're in a headwind. I tried to add arrows to the course to show where the wind was, but I was having issues with the PNG overlays and all that stuff. And I was gonna add a little finish line on the course too, but same issue came about. So, anyways, it's a commentary, so I guess I can at least let you know what we're doing. So, 1 hour crit plus 3 laps. The course is about 800 meters long, flat. On the back it gets kind of like a false flat, but not really a hill at all. So, racing is starting to kind of begin proper, I suppose. This guy up here, he's doing his pull. And then watch this. This is sneaky. So you watch the calves, how they just kind of tighten up, and then he's just applying power through this corner, trying to sneak away. Sneaky move, but it definitely made me kind of work to get back to him, but no big deal. So we're back on the wheel. Everybody followed us. It's the very beginning of the race, so everybody's pretty fresh. So we're pulling through. I'm on the front right here. What am I doing? I am not pulling. That's what I'm doing. It was hot, man, and I was wearing a skin suit, and it wasn't like a good skin suit either. It was not breathable. So everybody was pretty hot. Everybody was complaining about the heat. So I got back in. Things are going slow again. So I decided to do a little probe. And just kind of see where everybody's at, see what everybody's reaction would be. I'm gonna try this a couple times during this race. So I let them come back through, and I just slot back in. Continue on. So right now we have there's 2 guys up the road, and nobody's wanting to chase back. So Michael ends up getting up front, wanting to start a chase, which is pretty cool. So he's strong. He puts in a good dent into the gap, following right along. Yeah, that's the thing. When gaps did open up, nobody wanted to chase, so it made the race kind of hard. Just in that sense, kind of annoying too. I pull through. Again, not trying to do anything crazy, not trying to literally burn. But I make my way through this corner, and I notice that I drop everybody. And when if I was feeling good, if I was fresh, if I was strong, I should have just kept the momentum going. But I knew, it just wasn't for me. So I just decided to let him come back. But I was visibly frustrated. You could look at the shadow there. So it even tells you see Michael's going to be leading again on the right side. It just tells you that nobody wanted to do any work at all. They were all kind of hurting. Okay, so where are we right now? So this is a pretty important part of the race. This look on the left side. That's a strong three-man break that's gonna work their way up. But then usually during these types of accelerations, people would put in their work and people would just slot in where they are. But nobody here wanted to do that because everybody was expecting everybody else to pull through. And look what that caused. The gaps are huge. It's single file, and there's a couple of meters between everybody. So that just look at that gap that's opening up right now. That's what happens when nobody wants to work. When everybody just expects everybody else to do the work for them. I get it. It's hot, but I mean, you know. And I also found myself at the back of the group too. We're towards the back, not at the all the way back, but still. That's also why you don't want to drop too far back, because you get stuck behind stuff like this. But again, Michael doing all the work again. He tries to push through, and if I was more fresh, I would have jumped around Mark and hopped on Christoph's wheel. But you know, in my mind, I was thinking that Mark's strong enough that he's gonna end up pushing back and then getting back on the tail end of that group. But you see that gap opened up, so I took it upon myself just to reel him back. And I thought they slowed down a little bit, but when you see him come through this corner again, it's they're still moving pretty fast. It's still single file, 32 miles an hour through that corner. But end up catching back on eventually. So it just goes to show you can't always expect everybody else to do all the work. You know, when opportunity arises, you just need to jump on those wheels. You just can't wait on everybody else, or you'll find yourself in the wrong end of a split. So yeah, make the catch. I mean, I don't really blame anybody for that. It was a collective deal. So I see Chris go, and I decided to go with him, and we established a gap, which was great. Chris he's a strong rider, and I know he's got a motor on him, so this is a good move to follow. I looked back and I didn't see anybody with us. So I feel like we're in pretty good shape. And then he looks back, he sees me with him, so he flicks me through, and I end up pulling through. And yeah, I start my pull. My goal is I'd like to take half lap pulls or straightaway pulls or whatever each. Don't want to necessarily bury ourselves too much because we have a gap. And it's hot, so we're trying to not cook ourselves, really, literally. But we're about just over halfway through the race right now, and I pull through, and I flick him, and he says no, they're coming, or he's tired or whatever. But regardless, we end up sitting up and letting the group come back. I tell him right here, say, get ready for the counterattack, because usually, look, we drop down all the way 19, 18 miles an hour. So if there wasn't a counterattack, usually there wasn't. So thank God for us, but not very smart racing, I guess, by the group. So it made it easy for us to slot back in and continue on. All right, so now we are. This is important right here. So up ahead, that's Mark, and then you have these three guys. They're teammates, and what happened here is the idea was to let these four guys go off and establish maybe a half of a lap break, and then we were going to pull them back because the race was pretty boring. So that's important to know that there's four people up ahead. So moving down to 2 to go. We still haven't caught those guys. So right now, everybody right here is racing for 5th place. That's it. Those guys, they actually came close to lapping the field, but they didn't. So right now, pace is pretty decent, but it's not like 31. Yeah, that's fast, but it's not as fast as it usually is. But it's still pretty fast. This is like a false flat section, headwind section. It's the slowest, second slowest part of the course. When we make this turn right here, this is an important turn because if you make it to this turn first, you have just this short little straightaway, and then you just have a short little punch to the line. So me personally, I feel that corner number 3 is an important corner. So since this is a practice crit, it's not a real race, it's not sanctioned or anything like that. We're not allowed to do that. I decided to say, okay, I'm racing to that 3rd corner. And right now it's slow, which everybody's just setting up for a sprint right now. And I wasn't gonna allow that. So what I should have done right here is had a little bit of a sprinter's gap. But instead, I was over here on the right-hand side, and yeah, they could see me, but I launched anyways, and I gained a pretty decent gap, but the heat just had me. All I knew is that I just had to hold on, and then I saw Christoph come by, and then at that point, I kind of, I don't know, I'm still putting power down, but when they went by me, it was just kind of over. But Christoph in 5th, yeah, Michael in 6th, and then so on. But yeah, it was a good race. So you do these practice crits so that you can try different techniques and different strategies and see what works and see what doesn't work. But next week's my last one, so moving to South Carolina. So let's do it.